So today, a very exciting subject. It's about building our lead generation foundation. So in order to bring some leads in, we got to make sure that we have a good, strong foundation set up. So what I want to go over today is building a lead generation foundation. Every business needs to be generating leads. Every single day you should be generating leads. If you're not generating leads, your business is not going to last much longer. So in order to start bringing in tons and tons of leads, we need to make sure that we set up a really good, strong foundation for our lead generation strategies. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I've got a presentation. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in and let's get going learning how to build a strong lead generation foundation. Okay, so here we go. Building your lead generation foundation so you can bring in leads consistently, right? Not just when we're live, not just every other day, but consistently bringing in leads. So no matter what you do, you need to learn lead generation. This is one of those skills that once you learn this, it's like fire. It sets fire to your business and it's amazing. So there are 3 principles to a solid lead foundation. All right. The first one we're going to talk about is your mindset. All right. It's not your content. It's you. When it comes to getting people to raise their hand and watch your content, it's not your content. It's you. It's how you are showing up and how you see yourself. So when you're confident in yourself, when you know the subject and you know what you're talking about with your leads can see that. Your leads can feel that. Like, she knows what she's talking about. I'm going to follow her. I'm going to buy from her. I want her free things. So you've got to make sure that you've got a really good, solid mindset when you're looking at generating leads. All right. Consistency. This one is talked about, I think, by everybody. You must show up. You have to post on socials every single day to gain some traction. Now, if you've already got good traction, you've already got a good lead base, then no, you don't need to show up every day. But when you're first building that audience, building that foundation, you're going to need to show up every single day to get that traction going and start being one of those known names in the household, if you will, becoming that authority. So you must show up. The results that you have today are the product of the work that you have done in the past. So it's like planting little seeds, right? You plant the seed for a tomato plant, a flower, or a tree. It doesn't grow the next day, right? It takes time to plant those seeds. So commit to being consistent. Life is going to happen. Life is life, and for all of us. So prepare for it. And then if you're able to, maybe you need to hire a VA to help you, take some of those things off your plate so you can then focus on your money-making activities. And then, of course, the last one is relatability, your know, like, and trust factor. This is not a popularity contest. When you master this, your audience will engage more. They will. Okay, so you got to be relatable. If you try to paint some kind of picture perfect world that you live in that's not being relatable to other people, because not everybody lives in a picture perfect world. Typically, like if we're looking at the make money online space, we got people that are struggling to buy groceries, struggling to pay their rent. So you don't want to be, and I don't want to say don't flash it, but if you're doing really, really well, you want to make sure that your leads that are at the beginning of their journey feel what you went through to get to where you are now. So remember, you want to be relatable to your audience. All right. So here are 7 steps to jumpstart your lead generation. You want to make your profile stand out. There is so much noise right now in the social media world that you want to make sure that your profile stands out from all the others out there. What makes you different? What makes you unique? Maybe you got a little sass. Maybe you got a little, sometimes use profanity, right? And your people are going to find you. So you need to make sure that your profile is not just like the same as everyone else's. You want to stand out. You want to develop a personal brand, your who and your what. Who do you help and what do you help them do? So creating that personal brand, like if you look at my branding colors, I've got purple and I've got pink. they're loud. A lot of people are like, oh, your colors are so loud. And I'm like, yep, they sure are. But that's me. I'm loud. I'm expressive. That's who I am. So you want to make sure that you're developing your personal brand for who you are and who you want to be known and seen for from your audience out there, from your leads coming in. You want to be recognizable, if you will. And then you want to make sure you're optimizing your bio on socials. You want to make sure that on your social channels, whether you're using TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Snapchat, and all the others, you want to make sure when someone visits your profile, your bio, that they know exactly who you are and who you help, and whether or not you're the person that's going to help them. So if it's clear and they know who you help, like if it's a IG social strategist and you're not looking for one of those because you already have one, or maybe you already have a coach, you're like, okay, that's not my person. I already have one, so I don't need that. So she can't help me. So you want to make sure that they know who you help and how you help them. It's super, super important. Then you want to create a killer lead magnet. Now, lead magnets are something that are very near and dear to my heart, okay? Because I feel that if you have a killer lead magnet, you're not only going to get those freebie seekers and tire kickers, you're going to get people that want to buy your stuff, all right? So your freebie it should never be to give somebody something for free. It's never the plan. Number one, it's to build that email list. You want to get them off of social and into something that you own. You own your email list. You do not own your followers on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, none of those. You don't own them. If that platform disappeared or you got banned or anything happened, all of your followers are gone. So what do you have? You have that email list, and that's the point of creating a really killer lead magnet. You want your audience to say, oh my goodness, I can't believe she gave me all of this information for free. Imagine if I gave her money. That's what you want your leads to say. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're creating a killer lead magnet, that you're giving them a quick win. So a teeny tiny transformation. You don't want to help them with their entire problem, maybe just a little piece of it. And then you want to wow them. You want to give them so much information that they can't believe you gave it to them for nothing, right? That's what a killer lead magnet does. And it's going to get rid of the tire kickers and the freebie seekers, and it's going to start bringing you customers, all right? You want to make sure that you have that call to action in your lead magnet. Now, if you didn't catch my live training 2 weeks ago on lead magnet secrets, you got to go check that out. It's in the group guides. Go check out lead magnet secrets. It's in building your audience, okay, in the guides. Then you want to focus on serving and not selling. So we don't want to sell to our audience. We want to serve them. By serving them, we're going to make sales. Bottom line, if you serve your audience, you will make sales. They're going to see that. They're going to see you're the person that's going to get me to where I want to be. You're the person that's going to help me with my problem. So if you're serving your audience, you will sell to them. It's just natural. It's just what happens. You want to grow a thriving community. Now, this does not mean, oh, you got to go open up a Facebook group. This does not mean. This can be a community on TikTok. This could be a community on Instagram. So if you go live, I go live once a week, every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern on my TikTok and Instagram channel. If you go, I have a community of people that come join me live. Doesn't mean that they're in my Facebook group. It doesn't mean I have to have a Facebook group. Those are my community. They come back every single Wednesday to watch me live and get all of the golden nuggets that I deliver on my live trainings. So that can be your thriving community, continuing to serve them, and in turn, you will end up selling to them. And then let me get rid of my face. Reinvent your self-image. Now, I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, oh, I gotta change who I am. No, you don't have to change who you are. Okay, you want to stay who you are, but who you are right now is what got you to where you are right now. Okay, think about that for a minute. Let's see if we break that down a little bit. Who you are right now is what got you to who you are right now. That's weird, right? A little bit of a tongue twister. So in order to go further, you're going to need to, I guess you could say, reinvent your self-image, right? So you're going to be not reinventing yourself and changing who you are, but just growing. Okay, so you want to be able to make the impact with your audience so that you can make the income. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're avoiding the number one mistake. And so many people make this mistake because they don't want to take the time to do these things. These are the not so sexy things, but these are probably the most important things that you could do. And that is not understanding who your audience is and how your product can help them. So you want to start doing something. If you haven't done this work yet, it's one of the most important things you could do. So how can you offer value to your audience? Think about that. How can you use your niche lives better? We all want to make money, and sure, that's important, but it's more about helping other people, make people better. If you can do that, the money will just follow. The money will come. Are you offering that? Their main pain point. So if their main pain point is, I need more money, then you might have a course that you could help them learn, make, like, do gigs on Fiverr, right? Everybody's got specialized, so why not show them how to earn a little bit of money? So what is their main pain point, and what solution are you offering for that pain point? So step number one, let's get into it. I'm going to show you a little bit what this looks like. All right. So for example, you might be selling some sort of skincare product, right? So their pain points maybe I have too many wrinkles under my eyes. I got bags under my eyes, all that fancy crap. So what are their pain points? Now you can ask GPT to help you come up with the pain points and desires of your ideal audience or your audience, but you have to make sure you're asking the right questions to ChatGPT. You don't want to just say, what are my audience's pain points? What are women over 50 that want to start a business? Who is your audience? Okay. Step number 2 is you want to build a personal brand that stands out. Who do you help and how do you help them? Remember, pink and purple, I stand out. When people see my colors, now they know that's Michelle. Those are Michelle's colors. So build a personal brand for you that stands out. It doesn't necessarily have to do with colors or fonts or anything like that, but you want to be, when someone comes across your content, they know it's you, okay? So for example, all right, I have my 2 profiles here from Instagram. I've got my Lady Wealth Warrior at the bottom there. Michelle, business coach and mentor, helping ladies make money with digital products, over 20,000 students, free social media Trello board. And then my Michelle Sparky, showing you how to make money online, 0 to multiple 6-figure earner, learn to start earning online without overwhelm is what it says. So make sure you stand out. You notice I have a nice clear picture of my head, my face, right? Neck up, shoulders up. You want people to be able to see your face. I'm smiling, I'm inviting, right? So you want to make sure it's not a full body photo, that they know they can recognize you. Because remember, that circle is teeny tiny on the comments and everything. So you want to make sure that you're recognizable from your colors or whatever it is about you. Could be your logo. And then you want to make sure that you're evoking emotion and desire with your audience. You want to capture their attention in a crowded world of social media. So understanding your who is of vital importance to get the most conversions or sales for your product or services. This, I cannot stress this enough. Take the time, do the work, and know who your who is. Know your who. All right, now we're going to move on to step number 3, optimizing your bio on socials to speak to your audience and let them know that you are the person to help them. So I did give you some examples. I think I had that slide out of order, but that's okay. Optimizing your bio. Step 4, creating a killer lead magnet. We talked a little bit about this, right? Check out the latest live training in the group guide number 3 for the lead magnet secrets. This is what it looks like in the group. So go ahead and watch that. I show you exactly how to create a killer lead magnet. So if you haven't seen that live training, go watch the replay and you'll get all the golden nuggets that you need to create the best lead magnet that you can for your audience. Step number 5, focus on serving and not selling. So what can you do to help your audience where they are now? Remember, everybody's on a different journey and everybody's at a different stage in their journey. So you want to make sure that you're helping your audience where they're at now. You don't want to help them if they're not ready for creating content. You don't want to help them with creating content. You want to help them where they're at. So where are they at? They're just starting. I have no idea where to start. So you don't want to talk to them about creating content. They need to know what they're going to sell. And that would be like with my niche for the make money online. So here are some examples. The health and wellness industry. You could maybe have a cookbook idea or some fitness tips, beauty tips, makeup tips, recipe ideas, natural living ideas, and so many more. This one is a huge niche, health and wellness. But how are you going to stand out? You don't just want a cookbook, right? If you've got picky eaters in your family, remember that pain point? Picky eaters. I've got picky eaters. So maybe your freebie will be picky, cookbook for picky eaters. Busy Mom's Cookbook for Picky Eaters. So you want to make sure that it's helping your audience where they're at. So you could have 20 healthy dinner recipes that take less than 30 minutes. How many busy moms would love that idea, right? They would love that. 5 fat targeting tummy exercises that take less than 10 minutes a day without going to the gym. So maybe one of their pain points is I don't have time to go to the gym and I've only got like 10 minutes a day to work out. Boom. This freebie right there would absolutely fill that gap for them. The travel industry, 20 must-see vacation spots for the kids that won't break the bank and will give your kids an experience to remember. Love it, right? Travel tips, vacation spots, travel savings ideas. Financial planning and wealth management, the Smart Money Home Guide, money saving life hacks. These are things that will help your audience right now. Beauty and skincare, beauty tips, skincare, smoothie your way to beautiful and fabulous skin. 25 smoothie recipes designed for beautifully radiant skin, helping your audience where they're at now. Then we got step number 6. Growing a thriving community. This is not just building a Facebook group or any other kind of group. This includes your Instagram and TikTok community of followers. So remember that. And I know I mentioned this earlier. It's building that audience where you're at. Where is your audience congregating? If they're mostly on Facebook, you need to be going live on Facebook. If they're mostly on TikTok, you need to be going live on TikTok. When someone can see your face, and I'm going to put myself back here. When someone can see your face, they can connect with you better. Rather than like when I just put myself back on here, rather than just going through the slideshow, you can actually see me sitting here talking to you, so you know that I'm here and I'm present with you. So a lot of times having that personal interaction absolutely helps. Absolutely helps. Then we get last one, step number 7, reinventing your self-image. Now, like I said, this is not about completely reinventing yourself, okay? Now, I have recently done some photo shoots, and this is recent because I am growing in my business. So I'm not trying to turn into somebody that I never was, but as I grow in business, I see the benefit of having photo shoots and being able to use my photo shoot photos for my content, whether it's for my content, whether it's for my workbooks, whether it's for my mock-ups, like when I have courses, my sales pages, my funnels, because I am growing in my business. I'm still the same person, but I am growing, all right? So explosive lead generation. Now we're gonna get into like actually getting some leads, right? So let's talk about getting some leads. So the best way to attract more leads through social media is by getting clear on your ideal avatar, offering value and offering a solution. So again, this doesn't have to be tons and tons and tons of information. You don't have to do some drawn out giant Canva ebook. This can be a 1-page Google Doc with 12 steps on it. Simple as that. This can be a Google Doc of 70 pages, okay? But it doesn't have to be that detailed. It has to give them a quick win and then wow them. Like you've given them so much information, they've got to have more. And I'm going to give you some money because I got all this for free. What would happen if I gave you money? So you want to make sure that you are attracting them through social media, but you've got to know what they want. You have to know what they want. So here are 12 ways. You ready? 12 ways to explode with new leads. New leads. Facebook posts. Yeah, that's it. Facebook posts. You're welcome. Now, Facebook, not just any Facebook, you got to know how to do the Facebook post. You got to create curiosity. You don't want to do a Facebook post that says, hey, buy my stuff. So when I get ready for these trainings, every Thursday, I do a validation post. And I say, hey, if I did a free training on how to build a lead generation foundation, would you want an invite? That's a curiosity post. I'm asking people, would you want to come to this training if I had it? And they're like, yeah, I'll come. Yeah, I had a lot of people answer me on that post. That's creating a Facebook post where you're not just, I didn't just give them a link to the training. I didn't just give them a link to a sales funnel. I asked if they wanted to come. Now I've got leads. I can't remember how many people, 25, 30 people that said, yeah, I want to come. That's like 30 people that are leads. So remember, Facebook post, but done in a certain way. Same thing with stories, Instagram or Facebook. Same thing. I could do the exact same post in my story. Hey, if I'm having a free training on October 29th at 3 p.m. Eastern on how to build a lead generation foundation. Do you want an invite? I give them a link and they join my group. Okay. Stories, Instagram posts, same concept as Facebook posts. You don't want to just be putting buy my stuff there. Reel, short form video, creating an actual video about whatever your product is, not showing them your product, but talking about the benefits of your product and how your product can actually help them with their pain point or reach their desire. Facebook Lives. I'm telling you, there is nothing like going live. Nothing at all like going live. Instagram Lives. Same thing. I go live on TikTok and Instagram at the same time, and it just allows me to reach a larger audience. Then we got YouTube. You can go live on YouTube, okay? YouTube Shorts, that's the TikTok version of YouTube. You can take that same TikTok video or Instagram Reel or Facebook Reel and upload it to YouTube Shorts. Now, I don't recommend that you try to do all of these at once because you will get overwhelmed. Bottom line, you will get overwhelmed. Then there's Pinterest. Now, Pinterest is not a social media platform, and I think a lot of people get this wrong. Pinterest is a search engine. So if you set up your Pinterest account properly, you could literally have content that can last for years. Years. What's the lifespan of a Facebook or Instagram post? 24 hours maybe? After 24 hours, it's buried in the feed somewhere. So on Pinterest, if somebody's searching, you could still be found on Pinterest. So if you're sleeping on Pinterest, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. So get on Pinterest. Then there's LinkedIn. I personally don't use LinkedIn. It's more of a professional platform, but there are tons of leads that can be made on LinkedIn. Then you've got customer referrals. Customer referrals. Don't be afraid to ask, hey, if you know of anybody else that's looking to start their own online business, hey, give them my name, all right? That's a customer referral. TikTok, love me some TikTok. That's kind of where I started my journey. My online journey was on TikTok. And the very first time I ever went live on TikTok, I was shaking in my boots. So it's normal and natural to feel extremely nervous on your first live. But TikTok, it's one of those platforms where you can generate lots and lots of new leads. And then, of course, other Facebook groups. I don't think enough people know about this, but there are groups out there for people. So if you've got busy moms, you've got moms doing side hustles, you've got weight loss, you've got menopause, there's all kinds of different Facebook groups out there. And your leads are in there talking amongst each other. So if you do some posting in Facebook groups that allow you to do posting, you could find lots and lots of leads in other people's Facebook groups. So the key to getting more leads is to implement simple strategies that duplicate. You want these strategies to be duplicatable so that you can do them over and over and over again, and then teach them to other people. You want it to be duplicatable. So let's say you have a network marketing company and you have people coming in underneath you. You want to be able to teach your team what you're doing as well. So, having simple strategies that are duplicatable, you can teach them to other people. So I do have a workbook, all right? And there's a little bit more in there. I think I've got content that converts. I've got a little bit more than what I've gone over here on the live training. So make sure to grab your workbook, and we go over more lead generation strategies and creating content that converts. So if you can, drop the link. Networking, yeah, such a great strategy for getting leads. So let me ask you guys a question. Do you need coaching or mentorship, but you don't have thousands of dollars to spend on a mentor or coach? I've spent thousands on my coaches and mentors. My very first coach I bought my coach. My very first coach, I spent over $5,000. The next one I spent 12, and then I spent 25,000 on a coach. Yes, 25,000 on a coach. I know. And then 12,000. So coaching and mentorship is expensive. You know why? Because it's a lot more time that the coach or the mentor actually spends with you. But what if I told you you don't need thousands to get coaching for your online business? Would you like that? What if I told you didn't have to do that? So I'm going to show you introducing the Digital Coaching Club. I actually have a monthly membership. It's exclusive, right? It's a paid membership group. I have currently right now 10 modules. I will be adding more modules in here. I'm going to go ahead and take my face off. Okay. But we go over creating a print-on-demand store. If you want your own print-on-demand store, I go over faceless brand basics, creating and selling digital products, viral group growth blueprint, social media success strategies, building a website, freebie Fridays. So there's so many modules right now, and I'm going to be adding more. Every single week on Mondays, I do a coaching session every single Monday, and I teach on something different. So this past month, the month of October, we did a 30-day Instagram growth challenge to help everybody grow their Instagram. And they're growing their Instagram. Their Instagram is growing. They've got some really good tips, tricks, and strategies to help them continue growing their Instagram. We have an exclusive community on the school platform of driven entrepreneurs. And I do drop a freebie every single Friday of a new MRR, master resale rights, or private label right product every single week. And I'm telling you, the ones that show up to the calls get the most value out of it, because you can watch the replays. All the replays are always put in the recorded training module, but a lot of times you get a lot more out of it when you come and show up live. So all of this for only $27 a month. That's right. Come in for a month. Try it. You can cancel anytime. Cancel anytime you want. What do you have to lose? 27 bucks? Try it for $27. See if you get the value and then cancel it. It's not a problem at all. So let's work together. Go ahead and give me an email, ladywealthwarrior@gmail.com. My website right now is thedcc.club. Join us inside of the DCC and get the coaching and mentorship that you need. You can ask any question you want, so it can be tailored to you and your business. So if you're like, hey, I sell, sunglasses, can you give me some tips on that? I will help you in our coaching calls so that you can get the help that you need in your business without having to spend thousands on a coach. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on this live and sticking with me through the technical difficulties. I think it was my internet. And I hope to see you again in a couple of weeks for our next free training here inside of the Lady Wealth Warriors. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye.